Well, folks, welcome back to the lab. We have a new project here today. This is a DIETZ Blizzard number 2. It's a number 2 Blizzard. I think it's a 1937. And it's big. And Supervisor Baby is here to keep an eye on things. And you can see size-wise. Yeah. Little brother, big brother. All right, so this, no paint on this thing, which is a delight for me. But there is a lot of surface area. This is a big old fount on this thing. And got a nice lock knob in there. So yeah, we're gonna, this is gonna spend a lot of time on the wheel, getting through this and bringing out that beautiful DIETZ metal underneath things here. And I haven't taken this apart or done anything with it. I like to wait until I do a video for that. So here we are, little gigantic number 2 Blizzard. All right, let's get to it. We're gonna do a little bit of disassembly here, and then we're gonna get it on the. Oh, that's quite the mechanism there. Yeah, I wonder what that must be for saving weight. I'm assuming. Put some holes in those things there. Okay, let's check this thing out. Okay, I'll take a look at that bail in a minute. As I see, it has a bail lock on it, so this might be really in there. I'm not going to hurt it taking it off. I don't want to hurt it. All right. Came right off. Some insects in there. Oh, good. Good. Because I am out of 1-inch wick. Yeah, look at that beauty. And this one was burned without kerosene on it. And you could just tell by the way it's burning there. Oh, it's brand new. Very nice. And I just happened to see by looking through the tank that has a DIETZ oval down there on the bottom. Now, I don't know if you missed anything there. I can't tell. My phone's been doing funny things lately. Turn off all by itself. But, so, got the globe guard off. And, yeah, that's about it. And there was a nice wick in there. So now we're going to take the crown off. Because there's a dent in it, and I want to fix that up. Okay. This has got a little something going on with it. We're just going to try to okay, good. All right, into the parts for the grinder. Now, let me see about this bale. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to mess with this. It's going to be a real pain in the butt. But this does have a bale lock, so I don't want to mess don't want to mess with anything there. I'll just have to work around it. It's all right. Everything's in good working order. Pretty much all I'm going to do is take some rust off, and we'll come back here and we'll take more rust off. And then we'll be done. It's just that simple, right? Yeah, if you've been here on the channel before, it's never that simple. All right, so time to go over to the grinder. So we put it on a big wheel. I mean, there's tons of real estate on this thing that couldn't make contact on the wheel. No big deal. Nylon, black one. Yeah, try it. Nylon bit to get through some of this rustiness. These nylon bits have really been working out. They've been a big help. They're kind of like almost like a magic eraser for this surface rust. But you don't want to use it on, fine tin, because it will put those little micro scratches in there that kind of look like brush strokes. All right. So let's actually, I know I have some new. Yeah. New one. I like having new ones. When I first started doing these videos, that's all I had was like one or two of these, and I somehow made them work for like 3 or 4 or 5 lanterns. I can't believe how many bits I go through now. I'll save that for a minute. Okay, so we'll come back to these. I'll put these in the small parts area. We'll get back to those things. Actually, let's see what we can do here. Oh man, I love it when with a fresh bit on there. Love it. Okay, so we can do a little steel woolly. So a new ritual is for me to brush off any excess steel wool dust that I may be missing from just normalness, because I think it may help flash rust if you get this medium, which is steel wool dust, mixed in with your linseed oil, and you're going to paint that on your lantern. Those little bits of steel are going to rust faster than the surface of your lantern surely will. So I think maybe that kind of contributes to flash rust in the house. And I have flash rust in the house. It was a very humid summer. So I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it. Even if it doesn't, it's a good ritual to have, right? That's right. Beautiful, beautiful. It's like that brand new almost. Okay, so we're gonna get some linseed oil and we're gonna treat this baby. Okay. So if you haven't been here before, I like to paint on this linseed oil to make sure I get in all the nooks and crannies. That's because that's where the trouble starts. Is mainly in the nooks, not so much the crannies. But that way I know everything's covered. And a very, very vulnerable spot for a lantern is things like this wire here, this globe guard wire. Because you take so much of the surface off to get return to your shine, it's just giving you nice, beautiful raw metal for flash rust to be like, hey, hello. So this is one of the first things that'll flash rust on you. On your lantern, this and the bail, after you've done something like this to them. Okay. I don't necessarily have to paint the whole thing, just in the nooks and crannies, but I find, I'm sure anybody finds that painting is relaxing. Strokes of a paintbrush are very relaxing. You can see what that metal used to look like. So this is mainly for protection, but also has a marked amount of aesthetic value too. And you can kind of adjust, judging by how much you wipe off after you apply it. You can adjust your amount of shine or lack thereof that you like. Oh yeah, I'm loving the attitude that this oil is giving in this beautiful vintage DIETZ steel. This lantern was made about an hour from here in Syracuse in 1937. Now, as far as patina, you know, and leaving rust and things on lanterns, there is appropriate times for that. In fact, a lantern I just picked up a couple days ago it's very old lantern, and it was an old, what is it? It's an old Defiance. And the patina was just so beautiful on it that I brought it home. Usually I like to do something to a lantern just to make it mine. Do I feel like it is part of me? This thing became a part of me because I feel like we connected. Like, hey, you know what? You are a coolest lantern. I'm going to leave you just the way you are. And I didn't do anything to change it. All I did was I was going to replace the wick. I pulled the old, it was probably the original wick, in an old 1-inch wick. Then I realized I had no 1-inch wicks in the lab. So all I did was clean off the old original one, pop that baby in, and lit it up. And it lit up beautifully. It lit up my grill while I cooked steak the other night. And if I can remember, before we end this video, I'll bring it out and I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean by gorgeous, perfect patina. All right, so now to find a good rag to wipe this off, something that's not covered in cat hair. Part of the burden of Birdland Farms here is cats taking over everything. And I did get a question. Somebody asked, how do you boil oil? Well, I don't boil it. You don't boil it. You buy it. It's on the label, boiled linseed oil. And I'm not exactly sure what that whole process entails. And I don't care. There might be a linseed oil YouTube channel somewhere. Oh, I found a part I gotta take the Dremel to right here. Before reassembly, I'll do that. Now I didn't brush this off, but there's enough residual on this rag. I'm just getting a little bit, and this gets super hot, so when I fire this up, all that oil will go bye-bye anyway. So I used to treat with WD-40 back in when I started doing restoration videos. And WD-40 is great, but it does flash rust quickly. And then I found linseed oil, and it's been kismet ever since. All right, so let's wipe down this big, huge thing. It's going to be quite the time lapse. There's a lot of time lapse in this video, I'm sure. There's a lot of grinding going on. Probably for the best, because I do tend to ramble. I find myself editing out tons of ramble. My videos are long enough as it is, but they are long because I feel like the things that I'm leaving in there are important to what we're doing here. And what are we doing here? We're educating me and we're educating you, I suppose. You learn from my mistakes and maybe you learn from my experience, past experience, which isn't necessarily lanterns, but it all applies when it comes to fixing stuff up and making stuff work and not work and so on and so forth. And I've gotten some really nice comments from people saying, so glad I found your video. I have my first lantern and now I know how to do this or that. And that makes it all of it worthwhile. And this is also fun for me. I love lanterns, love fixing them up, and I love looking at all of them on my shelves in my living room or here in the lab and say, that's mine. I worked hard on that. And here's the evidence. It's all on video. And this looks great. This looks great. As soon as I get rid of the wet look here. Wet look bad. Satin look good. This is a beauty. This thing was all covered in paint, and there's still a couple pieces of paint. Yes, that's okay. That's like a freckle. It's like, you know, like a Marilyn Monroe freckle. It's a little speckle of paint on there. Okay, now I just get my little, there, my little chopstick to get in the little corners. Not because we need it out of the corners, just because it's going to drive me nuts if I'm looking at this going, oh, I'm all done, and then realize, oh, wait, I left some in that little corner. If I leave it there, it'll bug me. All right, so let me get that fixed up. Where's that nice wheel I had earlier, or did I chew that all up? I might have used that all up. Well, okay, here's one with some meat on it still. And because it happens to me all the time, I'm going to hold this so it doesn't go flying across the lab here and then I won't fight it. Now, there is a plus to these really tall, massive lanterns, is me getting access to this without dealing with the chimney and everything. Boom. Okay, now the crown. Oh yeah, these holes are tight. Tight. I knew it taking it off. That might be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, so I'm going to have to modify a little bit. Just gonna just widen these holes by a fraction. Beautiful. Now, trusty chopstick, where are you? There you are. Why do I use a chopstick? Because it's made of bamboo. It won't put tool marks on your lantern. And that's the biggest thing for me. And this is a soft tip hammer. Also won't leave hammer marks. And I gotta watch it. It's YouTube. Technically, it would leave hammer marks. I could make it leave hammer marks, but yeah, you get what I mean. All right. So, just gonna stretch my legs for a second, and I just happen to notice that there is indeed a good amount of cat hair or whatever kind of just environmental lint all over this thing. And if I'm getting close-up shots of it, well, hair is hanging out. So I got a freshly dried laundered rag. Just gonna give it one last little wipe down to get the felininess off it. And I did notice while I was walking back in to the lab here just how great this lantern looks. It is a beaut. Big, gigantic beaut. There's got to be like a 38, 40-hour tank on this thing. Fount. All right. That's beautiful. And we can put the original, I don't think, well, is this the original? You just never, you really just don't know. Just don't know. Beauteous. All right, and okay. All right, before we take a full look at it, let me go give that globe a cleaning. Be right back. Okay, got this big, beautiful fits all cleaned up in there. All right. Oh, what a pretty thing. Well, a pretty lantern. Yeah, just great. Well, we don't need much reviewing we need to do on things we did to this. We really didn't do anything except remove the grossness from it. So, all right, let's come down and take a look. All right, you should be seeing things a whole lot better now. There was so much dust all over everything. It was all over the lens of my phone. Well, here we have it. Big, tall beauty. Crown's all fixed. No more dent. The post that was a little crumbled is all straightened out, so everything's even. Excellent. Yeah, look how much clearance there is here. All right, so number 2 Blizzard, 1937, with a nice appropriate lock knob fits all in it. Okay, folks, Blizzard. And here we are. 37. See it, all right? All there. Cool. All right, folks. Here we are. We are all done in the lab. Supervisor baby is going to come over and say hi to the cleaned up Blizzard. And folks, thank you so much for coming by the lab, checking out another video. Any questions, leave them in the comments, and and even if you have a particular lantern you would like to see restored, I do have a number of things here that I haven't done yet, and I'd be able to bump it up in line. So, all right, folks, thank you so much for stopping by, and as usual, don't you go change.